Are you planning a trip to the Smokies? Whether you're staying in a cabin on a mountaintop or a hotel down on the Parkway, in an RV at the KOA, or the family tent in Elkmont, whether you enjoy walking the busy streets of Gatlinburg or a quiet trail in Greenbrier, if your idea of fun is speeding down on a mountain coaster or a vista view from a mountain summit, then this podcast is for you. I'm Chuck Schmidt, and I'm the Outsider. From moonshine to pancakes, from your wedding day to a family reunion, we're here to make your visit more enjoyable, more memorable, sharing with you more of the Smokies. So if your idea of the perfect park is Dollywood or the Great Smoky Mountains themselves, we've got a lot to talk about. So let's get started. But first things first, don't feed the bears. Hello everyone, I'm Chuck Schmidt and I'm the Outsider, and welcome to episode number 7 of An Outsider's Guide to the Smoky Mountains. Not too long ago, I was on Facebook and I was reading one of those traveler sites for people coming to visit the Smoky Mountains, and a lot of people are just asking questions and they're getting them answered. And one of the questions that came up was, is there anything to do over in Cherokee? And quickly an answer fired back, and it was abrupt in 2 letters, and it said no. And I thought to myself, how wrong you are. First off, when you're asking questions on those pages, you have no idea who the other person is on the other end as far as what they're really interested in when they're coming to the Smokies. They might just be coming down here for go-karts and the Ripley's things. Other people might be coming down here for hiking. Some people come down here strictly for the shopping. Some people come down here for food. Some people come down here for the car shows. There are a lot of different interests that people have when they come to the Smokies. So when you throw out a closed question like, is there anything to do in Cherokee, you might get somebody who has completely different interests than you giving you that answer of no. There's a lot to do over on the other side. There's a lot to do in Cherokee. There's a lot to do in Bryson City. We're going to focus on that on this episode right now. When coming over to visit Cherokee, one of the interesting things is obviously the culture of the Cherokee people. The Cherokee people date back 13,000 years, and it's 13,000 years of invention and intellectual achievement and survival and perseverance. When you think that they were around at the same times as the mastodons that were roaming the area, I mean, that kind of boggles your mind as far as how long these people have actually been in the area. Some of the things to visit while you're over there to give you a flavor of the Cherokee heritage is the Qualla Arts and Crafts Mutual Area, the Oconaluftee Indian Village, Unto These Hills, and the Museum of the Cherokee Indian. I mean, those are just the 5 that come off the top of my head. We're going to take a little deeper look at each one of those fairly quickly. The Museum of the Cherokee Indian, if your idea of a museum includes dusty old displays tended by boring curators and it's kind of slow-moving, well, that's not what the Museum of the Cherokee Indian is. Inspired by their own ingenuity of the Cherokee people, it's a cultural and historical tour without equal, using interactive videos, interactive displays. It's a full sensory experience. So as soon as you step through the doors, you're going to discover up close the Cherokee people's spirit of inventiveness, resilience, and their will to survive. You're going to be on your own journey, guiding yourself through the museum, and it illustrates who the Cherokee people really are, where they came from, and why they are still here. As I said, you're going to follow them from 13,000 years ago when the Cherokee and the Mastodon shared the area, all the way up to 1838 when the Cherokee people were forcibly taken from their homes, incarcerated in stockades, and then forced to walk more than 1,000 miles and removed to Indian Territory, now known as Oklahoma. More than 4,000 people died along the trail, and many are buried in unmarked graves along the Trail of Tears. You're going to learn how a white man, William Holland Thomas, became a Cherokee chief in 1839, and how he helped to hold on and reestablish the Indian lands in North Carolina. You're going to learn about their recent successes about buying back their land and reestablishing the Cherokee Nation in North Carolina. It's a fascinating museum to go through. It's a fascinating tour, and you're going to learn a lot about the history of the Cherokee people. And again, that's the Museum of the Cherokee Indian. Now, if you're seeking authentic Cherokee arts and crafts, the largest home east of the Mississippi is the Qualla Arts and Crafts Mutual. Founded in 1946 with the purpose of preserving and advancing Cherokee arts and crafts, Qualla Arts and Crafts is the oldest and leading Native American arts cooperative in the United States. Be it weaponry, the decorative beauty of the beadwork, the intricate skill of finger weaving, or the expression of wood and stone carving. It's here. It's here at the Koala Arts and Crafts Mutual. Beautifully handmade, dramatically smooth wood masks that are used for the traditional dance rituals or the cool clay of the wedding jugs. All of that is here. The showroom and gallery are free and open to the public during normal business hours. And again, that's the Koala Arts and Crafts Mutual. Now, the Oconaluftee Indian Village, you're going to be transported back to the 1760s. You're going to smell the smoke of the wood fires as they waft by you, and you're going to be led by a Cherokee guide on an interactive journey through the Cherokee lifestyle and history. They're going to show you the ways and the winding paths flanked by traditional Cherokee dwellings, work areas, and sacred ritual sites. You're going to be delighted in cultural dances amid the swaying oaks and the sycamores. As you wander, you're going to interact with villagers as they hull canoes, sculpt pottery and masks, weave baskets, and fashion beadwork. Watch as a village prepares for war. Be amazed by a blowgun demonstration. Oconaluftee Indian Village is much more than just a place. It's living history of the Cherokee people. It's open Monday through Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. with tours every 15 minutes, except for a lunch break between 11:30 and 12:30. Children 12 and younger are free, with a paid admission of an adult on Mondays. Unto These Hills is an extraordinary theatrical event. Since its debut in 1950, Unto These Hills has entertained over 6 million people. It tells the Cherokee's rich story from 1780 to the 21st century. The story has action, violence, bitter disappointments, and broken agreements. You'll see triumph and tribulation, but you'll also see the hardships of the Cherokee history, so be warned. Though a family-friendly production, this is a keep-you-on-the-edge-of-your-seat experience audiences can see and feel. Through amazing imagery, you're going to be immersed and thrilled by the beauty and the astounding courage of the Cherokee people. Unto These Hills has a short season. It only runs through June through mid-August. The show starts at 8 p.m. nightly, and the theater is closed on Sundays. They do have a 10:30 matinee on selected dates, so you need to check out their website to find out when those dates are. Now, if you want to get out and explore some of the more fast-paced, interesting things to do, then maybe Fire Mountain Trails is for you. Fire Mountain Trails are Cherokee's newest source of big adventure. It's a multi-use trail system that's made for mountain bikes, hiking, or running. The network of trails is more than 10.5 miles in total, so there's plenty of room for everyone. If you like your trails with a nice flow of features, with fun berms and quick hits of elevation that are manageable and fun, then Fire Mountain is made for you. With a single track and wider sections, spots are smooth and fast, and the trail that invites a more technically accomplished rider also has options for the novice. The trailhead is located about 100 yards from the Oconaluftee Indian Village and shares the same parking lot. The trails interlace through the nearby Great Smoky Mountains, so you already know the views and the terrain well, and it'll still take your breath away, even if your recreation of choice doesn't. Trails are free of charge, and it's open every day, all day, and that's at Fire Mountain Trails. Now, if we're looking for things that we can do as far as water recreation, and that is one question that gets asked quite often as far as where can we go tubing, where can we go swimming, and there's not too many places over on the other side, Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge side, outside of like water parks, you can do that. But there is a lot of water recreation over in Cherokee and Bryson City. Oconaluftee Islands Park has been a long favorite of the Cherokee people. Your family now is invited too. It's generally shallow in depth, so you can have fun skipping stones and that kind of thing, or just wading up to your ankles to beat the heat. Now, if you're into tubing, if you enjoy drifting over rippling clear water through lush canopies of forest trees, then Cherokee awaits. Cherokee offers several tubing opportunities, and it'll send you twirling down the Oconaluftee River. So pack your sunscreen, take a load off your feet, and sink into your giant tube. Outdoor adventure has never been so relaxing. Stop by the Cherokee Visitor Center and you can find the best spots in which to launch. Now, if you are going tubing, then the one thing you have to watch for is the rope swing. Though the rope swing we're describing is a little more challenging to get to on land, most will agree that if you're tubing, it's well worth the find. It's the best way to enjoy the Oconaluftee. So you'll eventually float down the river. You're going to find the area that the locals refer to as Piney Grove Beach. You'll discover the rope swing is part of a big swimming hole near the river, so there's plenty of fun to go around. The Cherokee Welcome Center can get you started in the right direction. And then finally, if you don't want to go floating or tubing or that kind of thing, downtown Cherokee has what they call their downtown fountains. You're going to discover several public fountains set by nearby shops, coffee bars, and ice cream stores. There's even a lazy river feature to relax and frolic in, and the fountains are perfect for splashing your friends and family. And again, that's in downtown Cherokee. So let's get out and enjoy the waterfalls in the area. There are primarily two. Soko Falls, one of the many Cherokee waterways. Soko Falls is a cascading masterpiece for those who journey to its resting place in the heart of the Cherokee. You'll take a moment and revel in the lush wilderness that surrounds you. You may find it difficult to leave this place because it seems so secluded while only being a short distance away from the rest of Cherokee. This double waterfall is located 1.5 miles off the Blue Ridge Parkway in the Cherokee Indian Reservation. From the parking area, it's just a short walk down a well-established trail to the viewing area. For an even closer view of the falls, you can follow a roped, steep path down to the base of the falls. This area can be really slippery, so if you're going to go down there, please proceed with caution. Now, the other falls, arguably the most stunning cascade in the region, is Mingo Falls. Mingo Falls will hold your attention for hours just as you watch the waters cascade down this. So bring a picnic, recline on the rocks, bask in the iridescent spray. Your friends and family are certainly going to be impressed by the pictures that you're going to take there. Mingo Falls is on the Cherokee Indian Reservation, just outside the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. At 120 feet tall, this waterfall is one of the tallest and most spectacular in the southern Appalachians. The hike to the waterfalls is only 0.4 miles in length. It's still considered to be moderate in difficulty, but definitely manageable. And again, that's Mingo Falls. So now that we've talked about the Cherokee people and the Cherokee Reservation and the wonderful surroundings of waterfalls within, what else is around Cherokee as far as things to do with your family? One of them that comes to mind is Santa's Land Fun Park. It's great for kids. There's no waiting for the rides. There's a zoo, a pond with paddle boats, a train, a magic show. Plus, you get to visit with Santa. Small kids really need to experience the Rudy Coaster, the Ferris wheel. There are playgrounds. There's tons of shaded areas. I know of no other place like this, and no telling how long parks like this are going to be around, as the bigger parks seem to get most of the attention and the business. Now keep in mind, this is not Disney, and it's not Dollywood, so if that's what you want, this isn't the place for you. This is a classic amusement park and a zoo, and it's great on a slow day, and it is perfect for the little guys in your family. So if you've got little ones and they've been kind of left out and they couldn't go on all the cool stuff at Dollywood, this is a great slow down day place to go. And again, that's Santa's Land Fun Park in Cherokee. There's also Pan for Gold. It's the perfect family adventure located right here in the heart of the Smokies. The suspense of washing away dirt in hopes of striking it rich by discovering natural gold or gems is fun for everyone. Plus, everyone takes home some kind of treasure, and that's at Pan for Gold. Finally, the Bears Project. If you haven't gone through downtown Cherokee, or if you have, maybe you've noticed some of the intricately painted bears that are about town. The Bears Project started in 2005 with the intention of showcasing the variety of talented artists within the Qualla boundary. There are 20 bears in Cherokee that are all individually decorated and just fascinating to look at. Again, that's the Bears Project, and that's in downtown Cherokee. Finally, there's Harrah's Casino. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. It's 150,000 square feet of gaming, so don't miss the action, the excitement that the casino offers. Featuring live gaming tables such as blackjack, roulette, craps, and more of your favorites. There's a large variety of restaurants, everything from Dunkin' Donuts to a Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And as far as entertainment goes, Harrah's Cherokee Casino has you covered. Everything from Gary Allen to ZZ Top. So again, that's all the excitement at Harrah's Casino in Cherokee. So let's talk about eating in Cherokee. And just like Gatlinburg and just like Pigeon Forge, they do have some unique eateries here in Cherokee. First up, let's talk about breakfast. Probably the most popular place is going to be Peter's Pancakes and Waffles. They have interesting breakfast offerings such as the Ranch Hand Breakfast, the Country Boy Special, All-American Pancakes, the Bach-Pocker Pancakes, and Strawberry Waffles. Again, that's at Peter's Pancakes and Waffles. Granny's Kitchen has been here for 3 decades, and vacationers and residents alike have begun their day at Granny's with their famous country breakfast buffet. It's a smorgasbord of scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, grits, seasoned potatoes, spiced apples, French toast sticks, biscuits, sausage gravy, and a selection of fresh fruit. Breakfast is served from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., Tuesday through Sunday, June through August, and then again they reopen in October for breakfast. And again, that's at Granny's Kitchen. Now, one of the really unique places to go is called Grounded Coffee Shop and Food Factory. And they have specialty coffees, really interesting baked goods, breakfast sandwiches, crepes, all served in delightfully stylish surroundings. That's at Grounded Coffee Shop and Food Factory. Next up, Frontier Pancake House. They have golden pancakes, blueberry pancakes, strawberry rolls, chocolate chip pancakes, and bacon pancakes. Again, that's at the Frontier. Finally, there's Newfound Lodge and their breakfast buffet. They have cheesy hash browns that are definitely a don't miss. They are really a treat. You might want to try these served on their bacon and sausage, which are cooked perfectly. They have biscuits and gravy that are really, really tasty. And then they also have thick sliced fried bologna as well as pancakes and waffles. And again, that's at the Newfound Lodge. Now for lunch, I'm going to send you back to Grounded Coffee Shop and Food Factory. Let me start by saying you really need to see some of these offerings on their Facebook page to really appreciate what they look like. This looks delicious. If Grounded Coffee Shop and Food Factory was in Gatlinburg, I don't think you'd be able to get a seat. They have an amazing chicken cordon bleu sandwich. They have the best chicken Caesar salad. They have spicy buffalo tacos. They have a chicken tower sandwich. It just looks delicious. And they've got an amazing looking pizza roll. Again, that's lunch over at Grounded Coffee Shop and Food Factory. That's definitely a don't miss. If you like bright yellow and you like food, then Sassy Sunflower's Bakery and Cafe is for you. It's an easygoing cafe. They serve sandwiches, soups, and salads in a bright yellow space and, again, casual interior. That's Sassy Sunflower Bakery and Cafe. If you want to go a little more hardcore, then maybe Wise Guy Grill is your place. Comfy, counter service. It's a family-owned joint. New York-style pizza. Burgers and other old-school eats. I won't get into the whole Chicago, New York pizza thing. But that's Wise Guy's Grill. And, again, that's in Cherokee. Next up is the Front Porch Cakery and Deli. They have a wide variety of sandwiches, a meatloaf, a Reuben, French dip, and fried bologna sandwiches. They are all delicious. Skip the chips and get the tater salad. If you read the reviews, that's what a lot of people recommend, so I'm assuming they have a really tasty tater salad. They also have, again, bakery items and ice cream. That's at the Front Porch Cakery and Deli. And then finally, BJ's Diner. Now, I always have to go to these places because when I come into a town and I see a sign hanging on the front of the building and it says, Best Burgers in Town, well, I want to see if you really have the best burgers. But BJ's Diner, they have that sign. It's the best burgers in town. This place is unlike any other burger shop. BJ's burgers are huge and they're delicious and they're reasonably priced. Plus, they have a great view of the river flowing by. So try it. That's BJ's Diner. Now, dinner in Cherokee. You'll notice so far, I haven't talked a whole lot about the restaurants inside the casino because when I do these programs, I really try to focus on the restaurants and the local joints around town. Many of the offerings inside the casino, those are large chains, so you can pretty much visit those almost anywhere. But one of those that I do want to recommend, and whenever you have an opportunity to go to a Ruth Chris Steakhouse for dinner, it's really a special occasion. If you've never been, you really do need to go. They specialize in serving aged USDA prime steaks. They are broiled in a trademark 1800-degree oven and then served on a heated plate to 500 degrees to make sure that steak is sizzling hot. This is fine dining at its best. I'm going to caution you, this is definitely a larger check than most other places you'll be visiting on vacation, so please be prepared for the prices on the menu. But again, it is well worth it. That's at Ruth Chris's Steakhouse, and that again is in the casino. Now, Paul's Family Restaurant, this is a little more lowbrow. They have bison burgers, bison steak, Indian tacos, fish and chips, plus more. That's at Paul's Family Restaurant. Rancho Viejo has fajitas, carnitas, taco salads, and a full Mexican menu. Don't miss Rancho Viejo. Once again, I'm going to head you back to Granny's Kitchen, and once again, it's for their buffet. They have a hand-carved roast beef, baked ham with pineapple, baked Alaskan cod. They have 25 items on their salad bar, featuring homemade pasta salad, potato salad, coleslaw, and their very popular pickled beets. Don't leave without having the pickled beets. Homemade cornbread and rolls are also included. Again, that's at Granny's Kitchen. Last but not least, the Little Princess. Again, it's a buffet, which has fried chicken, livers, and meatloaf. The red potatoes and cornmeal crusted fried zucchini are a great complement to any meal. They have a fairly nice salad bar and a really nice dessert bar. That's at the Little Princess. Now, as far as tasty treats go, there's a Front Porch Cakery. They have cakes and baked goods and ice cream. Again, I'm going to send you back to Grounded Coffee Shop and Food Factory for baked goods, a banana pudding that looks out of this world, cheesecakes, iced coffees, lattes. Ask them about their birthday cake latte. That really looks interesting. They also have infused waters, and again, that's at Grounded Coffee Shop and Food Factory. If you're looking to feed that sweet tooth, the Heavenly Fudge Shop, that's for you. They have everything you desire as far as chocolates and turtles and so on and so forth. That's at the Heavenly Fudge Shop. And then finally, Carolina Conies and Cream. Multiple flavors of ice cream await. And that's the end of our tasty treats, and that is Cherokee in a nutshell for you. Again, don't let people talk you out of non-visiting Cherokee and visiting the heritage of the Cherokee people, because it really is interesting to take a look at. It's interesting to walk through. It's just a very beautiful part of the park. So again, don't overlook Cherokee. Now, let's turn our sights just in the other direction just a little bit. Let's start talking about Bryson City. Bryson City is really interesting, and they have probably one of the coolest attractions in the Smoky Mountains, and that is the Smoky Mountains Railway. They have two different runs that are going. There's the Nantahala Gorge. It's a 4.5-hour excursion. It makes a 44-mile round trip to the Nantahala Gorge, crossing the historic Fontana Lake Trestle. There's a 1-hour layover at the Nantahala Outdoor Center, NOC for short. And options are available for rafting, ziplining, jeep tours, that kind of thing. Trains going to the gorge in the summer and the fall also include adult first-class moonshine cars, the Carolina Shine, featuring spirits from North Carolina craft distilleries. On the Tuckasegee River line, this is a 4-hour excursion that makes a 32-mile round trip to the quaint village of Dillsboro, passing by the train wreck site from the movie The Fugitive starring Harrison Ford, and going through a tunnel. There's a 1.5-hour layover in Dillsboro. And again, that's the Tuckasegee River line. Now, they also have some theme trains throughout the year. The Polar Express Christmas Excursion is one of the most popular holiday events in the entire Smokies. Other family-oriented excursions include 2 Peanuts-themed events, the Easter Beagle Express in the spring and the Great Pumpkin Patch Express in October. They also have a 4th of July Freedom Train, and occasionally they have special dining events, including barbecues and brews and an uncorked wine experience. Again, that's the Smoky Mountain Railway. If you're going to make reservations, make them before you come down here, because this is one of the most popular attractions in the entire Smokies. And also, a great way to finish out your day with the Smoky Mountains Railway is the Smoky Mountains Train Museum, which again is model trains. Your train excursion ticket includes same-day admission to the Smoky Mountains Railway Museum and its collection of 7,000 Lionel engines, cars, and accessories. It's got an impressive operating layout and a kids' activity center. The kids are absolutely going to love this. And again, that's the Smoky Mountains Railway Museum. And again, this is in Bryson City. Now, if you're looking for outdoor adventure, then look no further than the Nantahala Outdoor Center Zipline and Adventure Park. You can race on dual zip lines at over 550 feet in the air. You can enter Knox Zipline Adventure Park, a multi-level ropes challenge course with over 16 aerial obstacles. Their signature course is the Knox Mountaintop Zipline Tour. There are many zipline canopy tours, but there are none like the Mountaintop. The Mountaintop is perched on the rim of the Nantahala Gorge, over 600 feet above the Nantahala River below, featuring a 360-degree view of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and the Nantahala Gorge. While most zipline tours glide from tree to tree in forest canopies, the Mountaintop flies from ridgeline to ridgeline, culminating in what is the longest zipline in the region, a dramatic half-mile-long mega zip. You can also negotiate wobbling sky bridges, nerve-wracking tightropes, tunnels, and the brand-new climbing wall on this course. It's a family-friendly activity. Guests can choose their own challenge level and pace as they traverse the courses, thanks to NOC's state-of-the-art auto belay system. And again, that's at NOC, the Nantahala Outdoor Center. Now, if you're into whitewater rafting, look no further than NOC for that also. And why do most people choose NOC for whitewater rafting? Because they've done it. They have the experience, unparalleled in the industry. They've been doing it for over 40 years. And their unique culture has produced some of the world's finest whitewater guides. They've pioneered whitewater rivers in 35 countries. They've hosted 4 world championships, produced 22 Olympians, including 2 gold medalists. They are recognized as one of the best outfitters on earth by National Geographic Adventure magazine. You can always trust NOC to provide you with a whitewater rafting experience of a lifetime. They have half-day or full-day adventures, everything from beginner to advanced. And again, that's at NOC, Nantahala Outdoor Center. Don't miss it, in Bryson City. Other zipline companies in the area include Wildwater. It's the first zipline canopy in the Nantahala Gorge area of western North Carolina, and it goes through 20 acres of the Falling Waters Adventure Resort. 13 zip sections and 8 bridges combined for over a half mile of high-flying fun in their newest adventure activity. You can experience the excitement and the beauty of flying through the air among the hemlocks and the hardwoods of western North Carolina. Now, for the little ones, Wildwater Kids Zip. Wildwater was the first company in the U.S. to build a multiple zipline course specifically for kids 4 years and older, and this is the second one in western North Carolina. Kids Zip offers zip lines and adventure park elements for kids 4 to 12 years old in a scenic wooded adventure setting. With a continuous cable and roller system, there's no clipping or unclipping for the participants, making it safe for any age to use. They feature a ground school training and practice, 3 zip line loops from beginner to intermediate to advanced, 8 climbing elements for entrances and exits and connections, and tree-based platforms. And with the 2-hour time block, you can zip and climb as many times as you want. That's Wildwater Kids Zip Nantahala. Now, as I mentioned, one of the things a lot of people like to do is go tubing. And western North Carolina has 2 great tubing runs, and both of them are near Bryson City. Both Deep Creek and Anakalufty River in Cherokee have crystal clear waters that originate in springs bubbling up and filter through the ferns and the moss of the Great Smoky Mountains. Tubing companies generally operate from Memorial Day through Labor Day weekend. Now, in Deep Creek, just outside Bryson City, the Deep Creek ride consists of 2 sections. The upper Whitewater section, which flows from Indian Creek through the narrow Deep Creek Gorge. In this wild, bouncy ride, it often separates the rider from the tube, especially when the water is swift after a rain. At the end of the rapid section, there's a wide, deep swimming hole that provides a relaxing break before getting back on the tube. The lower section, which is wider, easier going, and more appropriate for smaller kids, ends at the parking lot. Put in for this section at the swimming hole just above the first bridge. Tube rental companies are located on West Deep Creek Road, near the National Park entrance. The original black truck inner tubes are now a thing of the past. All the vendors have lightweight inflatables with seats. They can be rented for the day. From the parking lot at the Deep Creek Trailhead, you'll carry your inner tube upstream, less than a mile to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park on the Deep Creek Trail. The put-in is where the Indian Creek flows into Deep Creek. Just 20 minutes from Bryson City, the Oconaluftee River flows through downtown Cherokee. There you'll find one of the purest rivers in the mountains where you can enjoy an inner tube ride that's part rushing rapids and part lazy ripples and swimming holes. The water ranges from ankle deep to chest high and flows over soft sand and flat, time-smooth river rocks, shed from the world's oldest mountains. Tube rental companies in Cherokee transport you and your tube to a put-in spot and pick you up at the end of your ride. So, what else is there to do in Bryson City? Well, there is the Smoky Mountains Gold and Ruby Mine. You can choose from a wide variety of bags and buckets. All equipment is furnished free. All gem mining and gold panning troughs are covered, and they offer seating, so great thing to do in the rain. There's also Escape Bryson City. This is a escape room, and it's a great family activity as well as team-building experience for your staff. Escape Bryson City offers 2 theme rooms to choose from, Pharaoh's Revenge and Mayday Submarine. Again, that's Escape Bryson City. Now, the Fun Factory in the Smokies, this is a 56,000 square foot family entertainment center with over 100 arcade games, miniature golf, the area's largest go-kart track, bowling, laser tag, a pizza buffet, fine dining, and more. That's at the Fun Factory in the Smokies. Now, one thing that is interesting, and don't overlook doing this, is have you ever met somebody who is really good at telling stories? And I'm not talking about your Uncle Bob and his vacation down to Boca, or Crazy Larry and his Hold My Beer adventures from last weekend. I'm talking about somebody who can really sit down and weave a tale of a story. Then you need to visit the Storytelling Center of the Southern Appalachians. This is an organization that's dedicated to the preservation of the history of the Southern Appalachians through the art of storytelling and making crafts. They bring to life some of the history of the Southern Appalachians in a really interesting manner. So again, that's the Storytelling Center of the Southern Appalachians. Finally, there's the Swain County Heritage Museum. This is located in downtown Bryson City. The museum tells the story of Swain County and its people. Through photos, exhibits, and video, you're going to learn about life of the early settlers and how the creation of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and how Fontana Dam rewrote the landscape and changed their lives. Again, that's the Swain County Heritage Museum. Just as there are waterfalls up in Cherokee, there are also waterfalls down here in Bryson City. And what's nice is that in about an hour and a half's time, you can visit 3 of the waterfalls along Deep Creek. So imagine what it was like for the families who lived here in this beautiful spot before the park was built to have these incredible pieces of nature in your backyard. First up, there's the Junie Wank Falls. From the Deep Creek Trailhead parking area, you just follow a well-marked trail about a quarter mile uphill to Junie Wank Falls. The roar of the falls can be heard well in advance before you reach it. A 90-foot cascade of water starts above you and runs under a log footbridge with handrails and meets up with the deep creek at the bottom of the trail. Again, that's the Junie Wank Falls. Now, the Indian Creek Falls, if you continue along the Deep Creek Trail for approximately 1 mile, the trail is going to wind up a slight grade to where Indian Creek spills into Deep Creek. Follow the Indian Creek Trail to the right, about 200 feet uphill to the Indian Creek Falls, a high-spirited waterfall that noisily plunges 25 feet to the pool below. A small spur trail leads down to the bottom of the falls. And then finally, there's Tom's Branch Falls. Starting back at the main trailhead, just walk 1,000 feet along the wide, deep creek trail to Tom's Branch Falls, a wispy waterfall that gently splashes over about 60 feet into the deep creek. There's a bench provided beside the creek. It's a great place to sit and watch the inner tubers float by. And that's Tom's Branch Falls. Now, as far as hikes go, one that I want to talk about is the Gold Mine Loop. With so much to see and do in the Bryson City area, it's hard to imagine a day when you might have nowhere to go. But should this happen, there is always, ironically, the road to nowhere. This is a scenic mountain highway that takes you 6 miles into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and ends at the mouth of a tunnel. On the map, it's called Lakeview Drive. Lakeview Drive is a beautiful drive or a strenuous bike ride if you want to ride it on a bike, particularly in the fall. It provides an overlook of Fontana Lake and the access to a number of different hiking trails. Nolan Creek Trail is about a half mile before the tunnel and at the end of the road. Now, if you choose to get out and walk through the quarter-mile long tunnel, that's going to take you to the Gold Mine Loop, the Forney Creek Trail, Lakeshore Trail, and other connecting trails. If the tunnel kind of spooks you, there is a tunnel bypass trail, but if you plan to walk through the tunnel, you might want to bring a flashlight and always be aware that horseback riders use this tunnel on a frequent basis, so please be aware. Look down. Through the tunnel at the end of the road to nowhere is the 3-mile-long Gold Mine Loop Trail. Now, other trails in the area, there is the Nolan Divide Trail to the Lonesome Pine Overlook. This is a 6.7-mile hike in and out. It's strenuous, but the views are spectacular. The trailhead is just inside the Deep Creek Park entrance, in the horse trailer parking area across from the Deep Creek Campground. For the first 3 miles, there's an elevation gain of about 2,300 feet. At the crest of the Beauregard Ridge, the trail then narrows back to a razorback with views of Bryson City, the Tuckasegee Valley, and the Nantahala Mountains below. Now, the Nolan Creek Trail is 6 miles in and out. It's considered easy. From the parking lot to the end of the road to nowhere, the Nolan Creek Trail is an old service road with a gentle grade. Near the 3-mile mark, you're going to see remnants of an old farm. And again, that's the Nolan Creek Trail. Now, there is also the Oconaluftee River Trail, one of the 2 walking paths in the national parks where visitors can walk dogs. The other is the Gatlinburg Trail. Pets and bicycles are prohibited on all other park trails, but they can take this trail. The trail travels 1.5 miles, one way from the Oconaluftee Visitor Center, Mountain Farm Museum, to the outskirts of the city of Cherokee. It's relatively flat, but it does have a few small hills. The trail runs through the forest alongside of the Oconaluftee River and offers beautiful views of the river. There's also the Kephart Prong Trail. This is 4.2 miles in and out. The trailhead is on the Newfound Gap Road, US 441, about 7 miles north of the Oconaluftee Visitor Center. With an elevation gain of 955 feet, this trail is considered moderate. In the first quarter mile, you're going to see remnants of the Depression Area Civil Conservation Corps camp. Most hikers turn around at 2.1 miles at the Kephart Camping Shelter. Next up is the Mingus Creek Trail. It's an in-and-out hike, about 6 miles in length, easy to moderate with an elevation gain of 1,515 feet. The trail begins at the Mingus Mill parking lot just north of the Oconaluftee Visitor Center. The lower 2 miles includes Mingus Mill, remnants of a CCC camp, 4484, and if you take the right fork at mile marker 1.25, there's an old road to a historic cemetery. Again, that's the Mingus Creek Trail. Now, as far as the Mingus Mill goes, the Mingus Mill was a large water-powered mill for grinding corn, and it can be seen in operation 1/2 mile north of the Oconaluftee Visitor Center in Cherokee on US 441. The grounds are open daily. Built in 1886, this historic grist mill uses a water-powered turbine instead of a water wheel to power all of its machinery in the building. Now, when you're in the area, you might spot some elk nearby grazing in the fields next to the Oconaluftee Visitor Center or in the lowland fields along US 441 in the National Park. So keep your eye out because this is one of the best spots to spot elk in the Smoky Mountains. So with all those activities, you've got to be hungry, right? So let's talk about eating in Bryson City. First things first, let's talk about starting your day right. First things first, I'm going to send you over to Mountain Perks Coffee Shop. They have a variety of baked goods, bagels, breakfast sandwiches, plus a great variety of specialty coffee drinks. There's a separate station for gluten-free options, so you do have that. The cinnamon French toast croissant, apparently it's addictive because it just gets rave reviews. Raspberry streusel bars, that sounds delicious to me. This is located right across the street from the train depot. And one thing they want you to know, all hippies are welcome. And again, that's at Mountain Perks. Now, Everett Street Diner, from their egg entrees, including the Mountain Man, Country or Dixie Benedict, to their sausage and gravy delights, they've got your big breakfast appetite covered. Pancakes, waffles, French toast, all your favorites are here. They're open for breakfast and lunch only. And again, that's the Everett Street Diner. Finally, the Fremont Inn Dining Room, they have egg dishes, pancakes, waffles, biscuits and gravy in a friendly atmosphere. That's at the Fremont Inn. Now for lunch, I'm going to steer you towards the High Test Deli and Sweet Shop. Soups, chili, salads, unique specialty sandwiches. They have a rather unique menu, so if you say fill her up Ethel, you're going to end up with 2 sandwiches, so be careful. They have a really extensive menu of foot-long hot dogs also. They have a really cool decor, and it's also got an attached sweet shop to boot. That's the High Test Deli and Sweet Shop. There's also Loretta Snack Shack. It's a local family-run business. They serve burgers and wings, club sandwiches, press sandwiches, paninis, homemade desserts, and more. That's Loretta Snack Shack. Over at Jimmy Mac's, it's a family-owned and operated all-American steak and seafood restaurant specialized in hand-patted beef, buffalo and elk burgers, hand-cut steaks, and fresh seafood. That's over at Jimmy Mac's. Finally, there's Neighbor's Drive-In. Burgers, hot dogs, fries, and an old-fashioned drive-in setting. That's at Neighbor's Drive-In. Now, don't forget, you can also visit Mountain Perks and Everett Street Diner for lunch also. They have extensive menus, both for breakfast and lunch at both of those locations. So again, Mountain Perks and Everett Street Diner also for lunch. Now, for dinner, we're going to send you to someplace rather special, someplace interesting. The Bistro at the Everett Hotel. With a charming rustic atmosphere, attentive service, and contemporary American cuisine that provides an exceptional dining experience. Carolina mountain trout, Creekstone filet mignon, open-range meatloaf, a selection of North Carolina craft brews are on tap, from IPAs to stouts, some even as close as from a few blocks away. Now, their wine vault offers a wide variety of wines, from their house wine selection to a large collection of more unique wines from around the globe. Their motto is eat with integrity, live with gratitude, and I would add on to that, pay with American Express. It's not going to be a cheap dinner, but it's going to be a memorable dinner. Next, there's Pasqualiano's Italian Restaurant. Pizza, pasta, meat and fish dinners in a warm and inviting atmosphere. The best of Italy in Bryson City. And remember, drop the gun, take the cannoli. Next, there's the River's End Restaurant. Now, they're open also for breakfast and lunch and a special dinner. Choices range from the appetizing burgers to the always fresh sandwiches and salads, or their Appalachian Trail hiker's favorite, their Sherpa rice. Stay a while and choose from a large selection of beer and wine. And remember, every seat has a view of the river. That's at the River's End Restaurant. Next up is Nate and Nick's Gourmet Pizza, specialty sandwiches, appetizers, the largest selection of handcrafted beer in the area, and a full bar. That's at Nate and Nick's. The Great Smoky Mountain Winery. This is Bryson City's newest restaurant and wine bar. They offer guests a full menu of unique options and only cooked in a wood-fire brick oven. They offer a fantastic selection of local and regional wines as well as a craft beer selection. The setting is relaxed and refined with rustic barnwood and brick throughout the dining area. That again is at the Great Smoky Mountain Winery. The Nantahala Brew Pub features a full-service, farm-to-table dining experience, and is located in the historic R.C. Cola bottling plant, and it's only 175 yards away from their production brewery. They have a wide menu with a lot of featured items on it, and it's also the place to go for live music. That's at the Nantahala Brew Pub. Finally, the Hemlock Inn. Now, this is really a unique place to go if you can get in. The Hemlock Inn, the meals are served family style around a large Lazy Susan table. Each table seats 10 to 12 guests, which provide for opportunity for guests to get to know other people in the area as they dine together. Private seating for couples or families is not available. It's their belief that meals are meant to be shared together, and this is a key component to the Hemlock Inn experience. Dinner is served promptly at 6:30 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Reservations for guests not staying at the inn are required and at least 24 hours in advance. But if you can get in, you're in for a special dining experience, and that's at the Hemlock Inn. Now, as far as tasty treats, soda pops, custom blended ice cream favorites, chocolate amaretto almond ice cream, double raspberry truffle, peach pecan Oreo cheesecake. They've also got fountain treats, hand-dipped shakes, malted milkshakes, ice cream soda, ice cream floats, and sundaes. All that's at Soda Pops. Over at the chocolate shop, there is gourmet caramel apples, truffles, turtles, and gourmet popcorn and more. That's at the chocolate shop. And then finally, the Boxcar Cafe and Cones, ice cream, shakes, malts, banana splits, and more. So as you can see, it took quite a while to go through all the different things that you can see, you can do, where you can dine. There's a lot to this area that a lot of people overlook. So if somebody asks you, is there anything to do over in Cherokee and Bryson City, and somebody answers no, well, now you know better, because there's quite a bit to do over on the other side of the park. With that, I want to thank you for listening. If you like the information, you found it interesting and helpful, please help others find our podcast. You can do that by giving us a positive rating or by writing a nice review at the end of the show notes. We would greatly appreciate it. If you don't like the podcast, or if there's anything you think that maybe we got wrong or things we need to pay attention to, please send me an email at chuckschmidtpodcast@gmail.com. With that, I want to thank you for listening. Again, remember, a fed bear is a dead bear. Please don't feed the bears. Have a good day. An Outsider's Guide to the Smoky Mountains was brought to you by Dancing Barefoot Cabin. If you're looking for a log cabin lodging experience beyond the ordinary, then Dancing Barefoot Cabin is for you. Conveniently located in between Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. Explore the possibilities at dancingbarefoot.com. That's dancingbarefoot, BEARFOOT.com. Pizza Bear illustration by Kenton Visser. Music by Jay Denton.